So my name is Heikki Viika. I'm a Bombardier heading the delivery of the SSR ATC upgrade program, which David spoke about already. So overall, it's, as David said, it's 310 kilometers, 191 stations, over 300 trains, control center that actually covers 65% of the London Underground network. We're delivering it across a number of sites. I'm leading the overall program. I have a site here in London. We have the CBTC signaling coming from Pittsburgh. We have the control center coming from Helsinki. We have the interlockings coming from Madrid, and the stage works are designed in Bangkok. So it's a fair challenge, and as such, I'm going to talk about lessons learned in managing that we've used to set up this project from other multi-site projects that we've delivered successfully. So I'm going to start off by talking about collaborative working, pros, cons, things to consider, and global difficulties and challenges with multi-site delivery. So, in terms of collaborative working, it's a lot. That word's been used a lot, and it's an interesting word actually. Come to think of it, you know, any contract is collaborative. You know, if I agree to send by post something to you, we have an agreement. It's a form of collaboration. But I suppose in the sense of the word it's being used today, it means a lot more. And I can clearly see, you know, in the presentation on Northern Line, that there are exactly the same marks that David was alluding to already in his presentation. And the setup for SSR is, from the customer relationship perspective, well, it's exactly the same, I would say. I think that we've both projects have been formed based on the same principles. So in terms of the setup, it's important for it to be a one-team approach. It's not a master-slave. It's not a customer-contractor. It is not, well, you do it and then I'll say if I'm happy with it afterwards approach. And it needs to be a solution for the customer that meets the customer's requirements, the passenger's requirements, the operator's requirements, the maintainer's requirements, really. So that's what's key. And I suppose the real $1 million question is, how do we achieve that? Collaborative working is based on utilizing the strengths and weaknesses, the strengths and experience from both sides. There is loads of, for instance, in the London teams, there are very experienced people on both sides. There's a lot of lessons learned we can use, whether they are coming from London Underground experience or Bombardier experience, just like my colleagues for Northern Line Upgrade were alluding to. And everybody wants to be successful, of course. And that's the force to be tapping onto. So I will talk about two case study projects. We use those as a basis for setting up from the stage of the bid, this project as well. There are quite a few things that need to be taken into account, especially when it's a multi-site, multicultural project. That's to bring all of that together. It's really key that there is a strong program, there is a clear setting of goals, and there's a clear way of communicating across the sites. So the two projects I'm going to talk about: Metro Madrid, lines 1 and 6, Shenzhen, line 3, and then I'm going to talk about the need to have tools that are supporting, especially at the back end of the project, are supporting the continuous collaborative working, even at the point where it should be all ready, it should be all done, and there are, you can see that there are things to improve. So in terms of lines 1 and 6, very old lines, high capacity, high demand, not very similar situation as in London. We delivered both of those lines with zero disruption to revenue service, zero disruptive possessions, and they've been in operation now for a fair few years. On this project, the key to success was a careful joint planning that planned how do we bring together the requirements, the needs, the integration of efforts, both in terms of defining how it works, how it's being tested, how it's being specified, how it's being approved for safety, as well as the migration. Joint planning of the migration was absolutely crucial on this project. The customer was introducing new train fleet as well as equipping the old fleets. So all of that required careful planning. And here is a sort of high-level diagram that shows how the planning was coming together. I'm not going to go through that in detail. You can hopefully see some of the main things on that. But it started off as an overlay solution. So we replaced the previous signaling for CBIs, overlaid it into mixed mode operation, and now we've completed on one of the lines the phase of removing the redundant previous signaling system, and the other one is just about to be finalized as well. So here are some of the benefits that were delivered. 40-second dynamic headway without dwell, I have to say. No disruption in the migration phase. One of the key things was that we customized the system to match the requirement of the customer. We increased also the diagnostics capabilities within the railway system quite significantly, and I'll come to that towards the end of the presentation. That has enabled the customer to improve their operation significantly with the huge amount of additional information available. I'm not going to talk. If you're really interested, there's this city flow monitoring system is available on our stand, so you can go and ask the guy there. He's happy to tell you about it. Okay. The next one is Shenzhen. Shenzhen, we were working together, of course, with the Shenzhen operator and as well as our Chinese partner. It's a 25-kilometer greenfield, 25 route kilometers for phase 1, 18 for phase 2, and in terms of the contract, it was awarded originally in middle of 2008. However, due to lack of progress, I suppose, it was the original signaling supplier was replaced in February 2009. The stage 1 went into commercial operation in December 2010, 22 months after contract award to Bombardier. And stage 2 was completed in June 2011, right on original completion plan. And that is a quick delivery for CBTC, I can tell you. So what were the key success factors? First of all, technology was based on existing, don't modify the product. I heard that already today a couple of times. We had a number of sites, and what we did to manage that, we set up a very formal, very clear communication system across those sites, and managing the interfaces with all the other, with everything, was the key, third key success factor from a technical challenge side of things. In terms of the more human side of things, we had like I mentioned, we had the very strong setup in terms of how the various sites communicated with each other. We also said that there is one common goal together, both for us and our Chinese partner. We set up a very robust schedule, along the lines again I heard before. And the milestones there was a strong focus on reaching all the milestones, very solution-oriented mindset, and there was one clear technical lead. So it wasn't that there were a number of technical leads, there was one clear technical lead. Deployment of proven product, I mentioned already, and the testing was very clearly defined. So there was an overall system testing, very thorough testing at lab in Pittsburgh, where the whole product was integrated prior to shipping to site. And we had a test track to allow for the vehicle integration out of the harm's way. So that was also absolutely crucial for making sure that the vehicle integration was well proven prior to starting to introduce it to operation. Technology, I think, was more or less mentioned. We had an experienced team on this one, so we were drawing on the experience, for instance, from the Madrid team in Pittsburgh. Absolutely crucial for success was the cooperative customer. We had very strong, very focused collaboration with the customer, cooperation with the customer at all levels, starting from senior management, throughout the working levels, through project management, through the engineering management. That was all focused on delivery on time. And there was a high senior management focus on both sides, with monthly and quarterly reviews, on gate reviews, as well as gate reviews, audits, etc., etc. In terms of unifying the team, communication drove had a key role there. First of all, key project milestones were well understood, well communicated. We had any issues were rapidly and widely communicated, and there was very strict control on the message going outside of the implementation team that consisted of Bombardier, the customer's implementation team, and the local Chinese partner. That communication was highly regulated, so that not to create out of the noise within the team, not to create noise outside the team, and that way attracting unwanted attention, actually. Obviously, working with the new partners and in the new environment, there was a lot of training involved, and training and documentation was, of course, in a key role in terms of making sure that our partners in China could also work efficiently. In terms of, this is the third part. I mentioned about the city flow monitoring system. That's also been a very key part in making sure that we've been at the back end of the projects. We've been successful at bringing the products successfully into service. It's a tool that hoards information out of the system. In a digital system, you have loads and loads of information happening. This allows us to data mine that information, and using that information together with the customer has, in many instances, not just allowed to improve the product, but also improve the operation. in the system, a lot of things can go wrong, not just maybe the new system that you're introducing, but there might be perturbances coming from various sources, and leveraging the information available allows you to identify it. Here is an example. There was a number of station overshoots. Using the information, it was identified that it was actually the same vehicles that were performing that. And the issue wasn't on the signaling, it was actually those vehicles required maintenance, being old vehicles. And we could identify the specific vehicles that required attention, and that could be rapidly identified and actioned, and the performance brought under control. There are similar examples around doors, around driver attention, etc. So there is, the availability of the information and using that to improve the operation of the system is actually highly, very, can provide a lot of leverage in terms of being successful. All right. So here is a summary. Some of the lessons learned. Legacy infrastructure, when you're on a brownfield, it's generally speaking, it's not well documented, or the wealth of documentation available is not necessarily correct. If there are new products and new adaptations, they may raise unexpected issues. Off-site weeding of those problems is crucial. The mode of introducing the system is key. It can help a lot of, the way you've structured it can lead to a lot of problems or success. For instance, overlay, shadow running, methods that David mentioned are crucial in our opinion as well, in our experience as well, making sure that when you're introducing systems that they are not creating problems. Acceptance of the system by end user, early involvement of the operator and maintainer is key. Without the user's acceptance of the system, you will run into problems in our experience. Reliability / availability of the system. That one I can't stress enough. I think that we can't use the railway as a test bench and the passengers as guinea pigs. We need to be reliable when we go out there, and the design has to be centered around reliability and availability. And then analyzing that reliability, availability, finding any issues rapidly, having the tools to be able to do so, capture the information, analyze the information, as I presented with the city flow monitoring system. It is also important, enables you to nip any anomalies in quickly. So it's a summary. One team approach. It's not a master slave. It's not a contractor. It's one team. Everybody's got a voice. Everybody needs to be driving their view, assertive, and be delivery focused. Communicating what is happening, what are the drivers within the team, the project team, with the operators, with the maintainers, and across any unit that's involved in the delivery. Information is important. The right information, providing the right information. There's a lot of noise always. When you have people, you get noise. And providing the right information, the single source of truth, it's important. The solution needs to be for the customer. So it has to be supporting the passenger, it has to be reliable, it has to be supporting the operator, and it needs to be supporting the maintainer. Using the experience and expertise available, using that deliberately, using that to the maximum is important. and you need the collaborative approach to do that, and you need to be humble in front of the experience of other people, and be happy to learn. And at the end of the day, new technology brings benefits, but it only brings them if you have the team and the willingness to deliver it, the leadership to deliver it. Right, that's all. Thank you.